Hello my lovelies, this is Simsfell and welcome back to Vampire Bloodlines with the Shade family. We are, yes, switching households in this episode. I did say that in the previous one. And we have arrived at a new home with a whole bunch of grown-up Sims. My goodness, I have spent the better part of an hour making over Gavin and making over Brandy and Eldwin. My goodness, and Eldwin's birthday is today, so that was in vain because I didn't check the ages before I made them over. So I'm going to have to do him again, but there is so much going on, so much. So we were made aware, I think in the previous episode or the one before, that the Shades moved to a new location. They found a new house that was better suited because apparently the previous house wasn't good enough for them. I don't know how, but they got a whole heap of money, either from probably inheritance. I'm assuming inheritance because how else are they going to get that much money? They have 121,000 simoleons, and I'm not going to like get rid of that because I don't feel like it was a cheat. It didn't happen while I was playing. It happened with NRAS. So I don't know how they got that money, but they got it somehow. And they decided to move to this awesome house. It's a really old house, but it is super cool. I'll show you where. It's very far away, pretty much the most isolated lot you can find in Bridgeport. Like, it's across the bridge. We were living in this neighborhood previously, but it's pretty much all the way away from town, across the bridge. You have to kind of wind your way up the road and go all the way here. Really, it's a trip to go into the city for anything. So we're all the way up here. And the special thing about this house is that it was originally the house that the Page brothers lived in. If you guys are familiar with the Page brothers from my Witch Brothers series in The Sims 3, after I finished that series, I played the Page brothers in this house in a different save. And while I was playing with them, I made over the house. And so I'm really happy with how that ended up coming out, and I'm not going to change anything. I was delighted to find out they moved into this lot. I thought I would have to make over a brand new place, but no, it's already done and it's got super cool things inside. So we have that, and I'm going to show you guys, like, look at this. It's so good. We've got a garden over here out back. We have a shed at the back as well, but it's like a alchemy shed, and we've got like a gem cutter, so many things. We also have, look at this, the pet hygienator, which means we don't have to worry about our pets having fleas. There's a whole bunch of dog toys, I think also cat toys, all around the place. If we head on inside, look at the second level. Everything's really aesthetic and nice. We have two bathrooms up here. This pink bedroom on the far right belongs to Brandy, so this is where she sleeps. The blue bedroom over here belongs to Garret and Erica. They share that. And then the two boys, Gavin and Eldwin, they share this purple room. So that's what I have for them. And then if you go downstairs, we have, look at this, a whole bunch of like toys and stuff, a pet bed, a lot of food bowls, which means with the amount of land we have, if we wanted to breed cats, this would be a cat breeding paradise. And then we have the living room. We've got a minor pets little cage over here, and we currently have a rodent named Mudstone, so there we go. And we have this kitchen, which is small and quaint, but everything aesthetically matches, so I'm happy with that. Like, what could I ask more for? And this is the alchemy shed that we have going on, already outfitted with a whole bunch of elixirs for us to use, invigorating elixirs, so that is absolutely awesome. But apart from that, we also have Elwood. So before I go into the other Sims, I do want to point out a few things. So we also found out, I think in the previous episode, that the Shades adopted a new cat by the name of Elwood from another family, I think the Wild family, because they apparently had too small of an apartment or they couldn't look after all of their animals and some of their children. So literally the entire family got split across other families in Bridgeport. In town. So that's what ended up happening, and the Shades adopted Elwood. And you guys, if you are wondering where the previous cat is, they had Honey, I think, and Honey's probably died, which is why she's not in this house. And we have Elwood. Elwood spent this poor cat They did not even take him in the taxi. Because they lived all the way here, and I don't know where the Wilds live, probably in the city, this cat had to walk all the way from there to their home up here, and he still hasn't even made it through. His energy is so low. I think he's either going to be taken away or die or collapse. I have no clue, because he is also at the end of his elderhood. So he could possibly die on this journey to get to their really isolated house. Not only that, but while I was setting up for this episode, because when I jumped in, it was quite late at night or early in the morning. It is currently 1:27 p.m. on Sunday. While I was setting up, I got a few really important notifications. In the previous episode, we had Vlad Nicolai, who's looking, or was supposed to start looking for a new partner because his wife, Lily Bow, passed away right at the end of the episode. And as I was setting up, I got a notification that Vlad Nicolai is now dating Damaris Schlick. And I think she is a vampire, because a lot of the Schlicks seem to be vampires. So he is currently dating someone. Not only that, but I noticed in the tabs that someone knows Alicia Lance from the Lance household. Who knows Alicia? Maybe one of the teens? Maybe one of the teens. Do you know Alicia? Alicia. Someone knows Alicia. Where is she? Alicia. Where the hell is she? This is important. Here we go. Alicia has aged up into 18, so that was exciting to see. Not only that, Alicia is now dating Omari Page as a teen. She's dating Omari Page in high school. We got a notification for that. And Omari Page is the son, if I am correct, of Merlin Page, who is the son of one of the Page brothers who used to live in this house. So we are connected in crazy ways to a lot of people. I'm so sorry if this seems like a long intro back into the family, but there's so much to catch up on. And speaking of connections, all the cats we've had kind of across the families, because we've played for an entire season, they seem to be related, like the previous household. I think when we were with the Lances, even with the Nicolais, Niel's family is related to a bunch of cats that the Wilds had, I think, originally. And the current cat we have, Elwood Wild, if you go into his family panel, he's connected as well because, let's see, Turbo Wild? Yeah, there we go. Through his brother, he's like related to Niel and Dina, and then Dink and Kim, who we met at one of the other houses. So there we go. All the cats are pretty much related to each other. And through Niel, of course, Hayes, that was born in the previous episode. Or not in the previous episode, in the previous week that we played with the Nicolais. So my goodness, so many things have happened. Oh my goodness. Okay. Kitty cat, can you make it back home? Yeah, oh my goodness. Look at Elwood. He's such a cute cat, though, I must say. I hope he doesn't die on the journey. He's been trying so hard. Look at him. He wants to scratch something. I feel like he's either going to be taken away from the social worker or die as soon as he gets to a very isolated house. It is crazy. But we also, guys, have Eldwin's birthday. So he's aging up into a teen today. And why don't I go ahead and show you guys the aged up Sims that we have in this house and the outfits. So I don't know why, but I just got this vibe that all the kids in this house are dressed in really crazy colors, especially the brothers. I mean, they like pink, but I like the idea that they wear like really bright, crazy color combinations that don't necessarily suit, just because they feel like being bold. And then we have Brandy, who has a bit more of, I was inspired by like Halloween because it's Halloween season, so I had kind of that for her, but there we go. Of course, we know that Elwin's favorite color is super pink, which is why he's got pink throughout his outfits. And then he's just decided to throw in a bunch of like teals and greens. And then Gavin's favorite color is Pompadour pink. And then he's just decided to throw a whole bunch of random bright pastel colors, just because, for the sake of it. And then Brandy's favorite color is Wenge Brown, and then she wanted to have like the Halloween orange and some teal blue. But let me go ahead and start changing my Sims. Oh, this over here is Gavin. So let me get him to change into his everyday so you guys can see what they walk around in. But all his outfits are pretty much in this color scheme. There we go, as you can see. Doesn't that look a little bit crazy? I don't know why, I just felt as though Gavin, I mean, he went to didn't he go to Le Fromage Art School? I think he went to the Le Fromage Art School. He's worked as a produce quality assessor. And he's level 1 in the music career. We do have a lot of catching up to do. Why doesn't it say, like, where he... Did he not graduate? Because we sent him. Well, I don't know what's up with that, because we sent him to boarding school. Maybe because we weren't here, he got kicked out or something? I have no clue. But this is what he wears. He was supposed to go to Le Fromage Art School. Like, if we go here, it says Le Fromage Art School graduate. But it doesn't say that for Gavin. So maybe he dropped out? Oh, goodness. I think he dropped out. Wow. Well, we can't get anything else done. But since he was at Le Fromage Art School, I feel like it makes sense for this family to have, like, crazy outfits they like to wear. And then this is Eldwin's everyday outfit. Eldwin, let us get a good look at you, my boy. There we go. Isn't he adorable? So that's what he looks like. I don't know why. I think he's going to come out looking more like his sister than his brother. I mean, they have similar skin tones and hair color, but I'm talking about facial features. Like, Gavin's facial features is a bit more, like, rounded and blunt, whereas Brandy's features are a bit more sharp, which I really like. But let me see if I can get her to change her outfit into everyday, and then we can see what she's wearing as well. There was just so much to catch up on, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun with the Shade family now that we have a whole bunch of resources, a whole bunch of things to do with them. And guys, not only that, but both Gavin and Brandy seem to have gotten started with their love lives. They are immensely popular. I feel like it makes sense because they have 2 celebrity stars. And I actually think that out of all the royal families, even though the Nicolais are the ruling family, I think the Shades are the most popular family. So this is Brandy's everyday. So there we go. I really like how that looks. It definitely reminds me of Halloween. So there we go. We have that. But yeah, immensely popular. And I know you guys were asking me in the previous episode, how is the whole, like, kingship going to work? How is that going to be passed on? Because all the heirs are different ages and the Nicolais don't even have an heir. Well, the way it works is not necessarily from one family to another. It's all in the rules. If you guys want to read that, I have it all cleared up in the description below. It's under every single video. If you guys have forgotten, if you want a touch-up, you can go and check that out. But basically, the current king stays the current king regardless of how many seasons we do. We could do 5, we could do 10. It doesn't matter. The current king stays the king until all the heirs of all the families, the royal families, have aged up into young adults. So Gavin's a young adult. We need... oh, this is so terrible. Who's the other child in the other family? Who knows Alicia again? And then we have Frank. So Frank needs to become a young adult. Gavin's already a young adult. And then when Vlad has a son, his son has to become a young adult before we have this thing called the table, or they meet at the table. And when they meet at the table, they have an event called a discussion, which is when we use a randomizer to roll the dice. And from there, we figure out who the kingship passes to. So basically, Vlad, as the king, is going to pass his crown and his throne, his title, to his son. And then we'll roll a dice to see whether or not his son accepts that role or not. And basically, if it's a 1 or a 4, it means he's rejected. If it's any other number, it means he's accepted. If he rejects it, then we go to the heir of the Shade family. Like, we go to Gavin, and then we'll roll the dice again. And if it's a 1 or a 4, it means Gavin rejects it. And if he does, then we go to Frank as the Lance heir. And we keep going in a circle like that until one of them accepts the role, and we call this whole event a discussion. But there we go, in case you guys were confused or you wanted to know how things are happening. But in terms of love life, I did say that if they decide to do things on their own, I would support them. Not necessarily force it, because we don't have to get Generation 3 started. but I completely don't mind there being different, like, generations and ages and gaps and all those kind of things. Like, I think it's absolutely cool. But speaking of romantic relationships, if we jump over to Gavin, look at the amount of women he's got. Oh my goodness. His romantic interest with Damaris Schlick, and this is the woman who is actually now currently dating Vlad, if I'm not wrong. But look at this. 4, 5, 6 women. 6 women Gavin has a thing with. Wow. So he has a romantic interest or romantic relationship with Marlene Stryker. Isn't he related to her through his mother's family? Like, because they're in-laws. But anyways, Marlene Stryker, Georgina Schlick, who already has a partner, Damaris Schlick, who should have a partner, let's see, Rhiannon Hemlock, who has a partner, Patrice Laker, who has a partner, Shikar Clavier, who apparently doesn't have a partner, but I'm definitely sure she has a child at least. So there we go. Those are the women he's involved with. And I feel like it completely makes sense because he is such a, like, popular... He's an heir. So I feel like it makes sense. He is an heir. Not only that, he's an immensely popular heir. Popular part of the royal family. So I see this as a lot of people kind of sending him proposals. I think that'd be pretty, like, that's a cool idea. And then if we go to Brandy, she's nothing short. I mean, she's a teen, but she's definitely, like, no, thing than her brother. I mean, she's got, I think, 3 people that she has a romantic relationship with. She's got a romantic relationship with Maurice Clavier, with Omari Page, and Omari Page is the guy who Alicia Lance is currently dating. And then she also has a thing with Derek Clavier. Are they brothers? Is Maurice and Derek brothers? Like, are they brothers? I have no clue, but she is getting around. And unfortunately, she doesn't have a good relationship with her brother. She dislikes him, which isn't cool, but hey, I guess that's more family drama for us to think about. Wow, I did not think it would... Oh, she's grounded. Wow. I did not think it would take us this long to get reacquainted with everyone and everything, but it makes sense because so much has happened. And Elwood, how are you going? Have you made it home? Oh, he finally made it through the gates. He finally made it through the gates. And oh my goodness, Elwood, I am so sorry. We have not even had a birthday party for you. You know what? Let's grab a cake and just age you up, my boy. I feel like if anything, you deserve that this episode. Let's get a cake and age you up. I'm going to have to give him another makeover once this episode's done, but let's go ahead and do that. Let's blot the candles. Don't wait for anyone. Just go do it. I don't want you to have to age up by yourself. That's just going to be sad. But Eldwin, my poor cat, he's being fed treats. He's passing out. He finally made it. I'm glad at least at the end of the episode he made it home. I'm glad he eventually made it home. Oh my goodness. This is so crazy. He might be dying pretty soon, though. As miserable as that sounds. Like, I don't know if he's going to survive the social worker. He's got 2 hours before he gets really lonely. But okay, Eldwin's aging up. Everyone's gathered around. A family of vampires. And it makes sense also that Brandy and Garret will be popular because they're purebloods. And purebloods are supposed to be right at the top of the hierarchy for this, like, society. A lot of things. Very, very interesting, in my opinion. Very interesting. For a second, when I got the notification about Vlad, I had a heart attack because I was like, no, Vlad, don't cheat. But then I realized Libo died. Things happen. Okay, so, kleptomaniac. He's developed the kleptomaniac trait. Okay, so what traits does he have? Assailant, discipline, kleptomaniac, and grumpy. Okay, well, guys... See, I told you! He would look a lot like Brandy, and he does! He's gonna need, like, a huge makeover. That is for sure. But look at him! He looks a lot like his sister Brandy! Nice! That is so cool! Well, I am excited to give him a makeover and see how he's gonna end up. I think that would be pretty awesome. Oh... It's exciting that everyone's growing up, but it feels so strange because all the children are growing up so quickly. And oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to, next episode guys, we're gonna get started on the whims. Okay, Elwood looks like he's sorting himself out, thank goodness. But anyways, with that said and done, I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.